In this episode, we're going to have a conversation about Grenache. Welcome back to Drinking It In. I'm your host, Chris Cassara, and we're here to help you know more and drink better. Today, we're going to have a conversation about Grenache. It's a grape that is underrated. I think it's underappreciated. It's definitely one of my favorites. I find that it's very versatile and just doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. So I encourage you to go explore Grenache. But let's get you some details before you go do that. Grenache, aka Garnacha, aka Cananao, aka the lead singer in the GSM trio. It goes by a lot of names, and that's partly due to the fact that it's done really well across the old world, right? So they like to confuse us. I've also had some really, really good Grenaches from California, and there's so that's always worth noting. So Grenache is it's a medium weight grape, right smack in the middle of the spectrum. The wines can get very high in alcohol though, so be careful. When you're drinking multiple glasses of it, just be safe. So let's see what these bring to the table. So Grenache usually give you flavors of like strawberries and plums and leather. If you're lucky, you get some orange peel, maybe some herbs too, cinnamon also. I have two different Grenache expressions. We got one from Spain and a 2018 vintage, and then one from the Southern Rhone in France, from the Gigondas, which is a 2012 vintage. So I'm going to try to pour both of these at the same time. Usually don't. All right, not too bad. I'm getting better. A lot of practice. 2018 Borsao Garnacha from Spain. It's very, you can tell there's red fruit in there, but it just smells more like brown sugar than anything else, which is a little interesting, or a little weird. There's not much going on here. I don't know. It's pretty basic. I would pass on this if you see it in a store. It was nice to have it on board for our little comparison, but there's nothing here that's making me want to go back for another sip. All right, let's turn I'm going to pour a little more of the Gigondas in the glass here. Hopefully we'll have more success with this guy. This is a 2012 vintage. This wine's brought in by Peter Wygant Selections, which they're based like 3 miles from my apartment. I haven't visited them yet, but generally, if you see that name on the back of a label, you know that there's some good wine in the bottle because they've done the hard work for you. Generally, these wines are about 75 to 80% Grenache. There's a little Syrah and Mourvedre in there. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. So cherries and plums and some spices. Yeah, I could smell this all night long. Still really lively, almost spicy for an older wine. Delicious, delicious. I suddenly want a burger. It's like a spicy lamb burger almost. I'm getting a little weird on you. So Grenache, compare it with some roast beef, some rack of lamb. It goes really well with Indian food. And anything that's heavily spiced generally matches up well with the Grenache wines. So get out there, explore, drink some more Grenache, and we'll see you next time.